I'm just basically doing a video on Cynthia G, inspired by hearing the truth. Apparently, Cynthia G has gotten even more dysfunctional in her message. So, not only now is she promoting the fact that black women should go back to black men by selective breeding, she also wants them to be with dysfunctional black men. She wants them to create the cycle of dysfunctional black families and to basically live out this Blackistan stereotypes of black families and single motherhood for black women. People always claim that she is different from other mammies in the sector. There is nothing different about Cynthia G and mammies. Mammies that worship black men are different in the sense of age, maybe, than the reformed mammy, but the mammy that is bashing black men is not bashing them because they don't want to be with them. They are doing it so then they can reform them. So for her, she is a reformed mammy. She is not a divested black woman, obviously, and she is not making a platform where divestment is welcomed. If she is obviously the same woman she was in the past, why do we give her the benefit of the doubt? In the past, she attacked black women who were divested. Currently, she attacks black women who are divested. She only does it intermittently with black men. She does black men much more often. And she attacks black men, for swirling more often because, that's her target. That's who she wants to sleep with. That's who she wants a relationship with. That's who she wants to have as a husband. She doesn't want black women, so then she doesn't talk about it as often. That doesn't change that the lady's feelings on divested black women is very negative. And the only thing she wants to do with black women and divestment is to thwart the movement, in my opinion. You can see this by basically the video I have in the link below, by how she basically, Karen Truth is actually showing how this lady is actually saying how black men should basically have access to black women and that they should supposedly selective breed. But at the same time, she's also asking black women to basically look for a father figure, a black man who is already a father and is a single father, a dysfunctional father because his relationship with the woman he had kids with has failed. Yet you want to go into a relationship with someone who has already shown that this type of relationship is always going to fail. So why would you want to have children with someone who has already shown that he has failed? No matter what race he is, for that matter. But the thing is, with mammies like Cynthia G is this. They see black men as always failing. They see black men as never being better than white men. They see them as less than white men. So because they see them that way, they see that they only have basically choices among the very low, or choices among people who aren't, going to actually be good partners for them. And they force themselves to only have these options because honestly they don't feel they're good enough for any other race of man. And that's the problem with men. This is why they can never be happy for divested black women, because they're always jealous. Because it's not about actually liking men of other races, it's the fact that they feel less than men of other races. So when other women who are black women who are divested are with men of other races, and they open their options and exclude black men in many cases, or some people are rainbow swirlers as well. When this happens, it makes mammies like Cynthia G feel jealous and insecure and uncomfortable with the fact that these women are able to get men of other races who she perceives as better than the men she's with. And so, because of this, she has always tried to build different ploys to basically thwart the divested movement. Because more black women choosing better than her makes her feel even more less than. And then she feels inferior to black women who choose other races of men. Mammies constantly have this issue. They constantly have a jealousy problem with women who are divested. This is why they're never an ally. Now, with that in mind, there are a few mammies that I think are more in the range of rainbow swirlers who may not have an issue with black women who are divested because they've been in their position before anyway. So it's a different situation. But even then, their focus still is going to be on making black men better. And that's what Cynthia G's ploy is. That's why she bashes black men, because she wants them to actually do better. But all in all, you will see that she will always direct her followers to go all the way right back to black men. You did all this complaining and all this talking about, black men, and all you did was you went nowhere. All you ended up was right back with black men, because she is a mammy, and she knows she's not going anywhere besides to a black man. And her only thing is that she wants to make sure other black women go nowhere but to a black man. So to me, with that knowledge of knowing what Cynthia G is, it's very well understood that she is doing the work of the black man to make sure that black women black men. And, a lot of insecure black men want black women to stay there because they feel like they can't get any better either. And so, for those reasons, they get insecure with the fact that black women sometimes are, interested in other races. This is why you get some black men platforms and things like that who go crazy over divested platforms and so forth. Now, I understand that sometimes divested platforms do attack some black men, and that can be their issue too. But I'm saying specifically talking about the interracial relationships of black women, not specifically responding to some things that some divested platforms have said about black men. There's a difference. Anyway, so she does the work for those people, and those people of those type of mindsets, basically, who believe in that, like, black love, black couples, and they want to make sure black women stay with black men, just so black men have that option, all that stuff. She does their job. She's not in favor of divested black women. No mammy is, because mammies like her, if she really thinks that black men are as bad as she says they are, and she feels she's stuck with them, she's miserable. And she thinks misery loves company. That's how it always is. And so, obviously, if she's going to be stuck with black men, she doesn't want to be the only one stuck with black men. Of course, she wants other black women to stay with her in this misery. There's another content creator who specifically talked about this, and she was specifically saying how mammies tend to trauma bond, and that's a major part of her channel with basically bashing black men. It's not a sense of getting away from black men, it's the sense of trauma bonding, basically, and talking about this is how bad her men are, their men are. That's how they see it. and she wants other black women to basically share the mindset she has. If she pretends with divested sectors and divested black women that she is an ally and she is happy for black women interracially dating, she basically hoodwinks them and keeps their guard down, so then she can actually convince them to be mammies just like her and to keep that option open, you know. And that's what selective breeding is all about. It's about trying to make sure the black woman stays a unicorn hunter, basically. And a unicorn hunter is basically saying that not all black men are bad. Now, I've talked about not all versus all. I am not of the mentality of honestly either, because I frankly don't give a darn. I just don't. Because I'm not interested in black men, so I don't care if all or not all are bad. I wouldn't even be able to know or test this out because I don't seek out black men, never have. I've never looked at a black man and thought, oh, you're attractive. So if I can't even think that in my head, how do I go about trying to find a man good for me when I can't find them attractive? We've been through this. Anyway, so my point is, you know, she wants to keep black women unicorn hunters so then they can stay in the black community, continuing to basically vet different black men who are never going to be basically their type and never going to actually treat them properly, and then basically keep them within her realm of misery. So then she feels better about the fact that there are other black women who have bad black men just like she does. That's what mammies do. They do not work in favor of divestment. They just don't, you know. And Cynthia G is just a very good example of a wolf in sheep's clothes in this situation. It's just, honestly, to me, the worst part is promoting, trying to find basically single fathers, single black fathers, as a good potential mate, when obviously he's definitely shown he's failed. And you're probably making a good recipe for single black motherhood. Why do we need to breed more of that? And, you know, the reason she believes this is, like I said, because she doesn't think black men can amount to much of anything. So she thinks that the very best of them is still pretty bad, basically. And that's why there's not really any standards there. But it's very, very telling to me that many of the time I've noticed that the supporters of Cynthia G that have come to my channel have always preached black love. They preach preference for black men often. The only thing is different with them is they're so angry at black men. One thing I want to point out is this. If you're so angry at black men, one thing has to give, okay? You have to either stop hating black men, or you have to stop dating black men. You can't hate and date black men. This is a recipe for a disaster. Again, you're going to end up single because you tried to date someone you hated. Who dates someone they hate? Of course you're single. Of course you're a single mother. And now you're mad because you got yourself in this situation. But you should understand, obviously, don't date what you hate, okay? That's it. That's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry if it was a little long, but that's all I have to say. I just think, you know, it's obvious she's not a friend to divestment. She's only preaching things that are completely opposite to the ideas of divestment. I mean, apply some of the things she said to white men, that it wouldn't even be proper. It would still be basically trying to find white smoke at this point. You know, especially the single fathers part of it. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching and bye.